Boy.
Hello, hello. Is it on? Hello?
I can hear
but
little.
let's see if I can complete with a siren. Hi, everybody. Thank you. That's okay. We're used to it. We live in the city. It's part of the landscape. I want to welcome everyone to Third Saturday Poetry in Chinatown. I'm Clara and so before we started, I always forget Yinga, can you give me my wine? Oh yes, absolutely. So everyone knows. So we want to make a tradition here that we will toast to the poets and poetry before we start. But today I'm going to read you a poem, and since it is API month, I thought I would read something in my own language, which is Cantonese, and in English. So this poem was written in the style of Lao Tzu. I was translating his Tao Te Ching, and after reading so many of his chapters, I wanted to become Lao Tzu, so I wrote this. Sometimes 5 minutes, 有時5分鐘 minute, new. Sometimes 5 minutes, 有時5分鐘 a puddle of muddy water, 一潭污水. Sometimes 5 minutes, 有時5分鐘 brain itch, 腦髓發癢. Therefore, the sage accepts this 5 minutes, 是以聖人容受此5, even if it feels like 25, 中感如25, laughs at its absurdity, 笑其貌, eat at its longevity, 泣其壽. A mere parsley worm, 綠蟲雖小, can it not leave a trail? 能不留痕跡苦? Therefore, be brief when it comes to speaking. 是意話簡略. Be concise when it comes to writing. 書扼要. Those who follow this, 遵此而行者, won't need another 5 minutes. 無須多行. To poetry and poetry. You did get one. Oh. Okay. All right. So I want to welcome Greg Vaughn, our poetry curator, to the stage, and he's going to introduce our 2 feature poets. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good to have you. This afternoon, we have 2 wonderful features. We have Holt, and we have Gail Mitchell.
Streaming.
That's just within a few. Okay. We also have quite a few people on the open mic. If anyone would like to read, please feel free to sign up. You don't have to read your own stuff, read somebody else's. You can sing a song if you like. If you can do a dance. Anyway, I'm going to start off the open mic with I'm going to read the first 3 people, so I'll get myself prepared. We're going to start off with Sally Love Saunders, followed by Carol B. and Chris Saunders. So first, Sally Love Saunders will be coming to the stage. And Sally is my poetry mentor, mom, and wonderful friend. So Sally, whenever you're ready. I know, I'm done. You're on. No.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. New friends, it's good to be here. I went on an amazing trip since I last saw you, and I wrote 60 poems about the trip there, the scenery, and how it's supposed to go. But I'm going to tell you something. I was the most inspired of all by a wooden bench at a bus stop. More than the mountains, more than the grass, more than the river. I'll tell you why. Because there's no schedule, no buses coming, no, oh gosh, am I late? Oh, when I get off, I have to this. There was nothing. Nothing at all. Right. You know, I wrote a bus stop. Sitting on a wooden bench. Sitting on a wooden bench. As though cupped in the hand of tree branch. While birds sing concert to me. Immediately when I arrived, the bird concert began. I could feel the excitement of their performing. Placed in dainty leaves.
She's not really using the mic just now, but I don't know if another person can on. Okay.
Feedback.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, she's okay. I'm just
Another at the bus stop. Sitting on a bench at a bus stop on Isley Island in the Hebrides. Rain tapping on the roof of the bus stop, stimulating my imagination. Only noise is business trucks going so slow through villages. The truck sounds melt with the raindrop music. The utter simplicity of sitting on a bench in a bus stop where there's no bus schedule available, and I do not even need to take a bus. Can I go again? I want to tell you how much I'm enjoying just sitting on a bench at a shabby bus stop. Not waiting for a bus, not knowing where I will go when I get off the bench. Simply enjoying this moment of being in a pause. So sweet to turn off the motor in fast steps. To get to a certain place, just sitting on a bench at an old shabby bus stop that does not even have a schedule. Now, another one is here we go again. About wanting to write about the pleasure of simply enjoying to the maximum pausing in a shabby bus stop. Alone with my writing, alone with my companion, who politely, patiently lets me indulge myself writing over and over about the same topic. Sheer nectar to sip. Thank you. I'm so happy to have a chance to share these with you. Oh, yeah, my pen. I wore out the first one I got.
Next up, we have Carol B. Followed by
I'm going to read a poem by Audre Lorde.
called The Day They Eulogized Mahalia. The day they eulogized Mahalia, the echoes of her big voice were stilled, and the mourners found her singing out from their sisters' mouths, from their mother's toughness, from the funky dust in the corners of Sunday church pews, sweet and dry and simple, and that hated Sunday morning fussed over feeling. The songs singing out from their mother's toughness would never threaten the Lord's retribution anymore. Now she was safe, acceptable, that big Mahalia. Chicago turned all out to show her that they cared, but her eyes were closed. And although Mahalia loved our music, nobody sang her favorite song. And while we talked about what a hard life she had known, and wasn't it too bad Sister Mahalia didn't have it easier earlier? 6 Black children burned to death in a daycare center on the south side, kept in a condemned house for lack of funds. Firemen found their bodies like huddled lumps of charcoal, with silent mouths and eyes wide open, small and without song. 6 Black children found a voice in flame the day the city eulogized Mahalia. Thank you.
Carol?
Hi, everybody. I have 2 today. The first one's a cento, which means it's composed of lines from other poems. I won't read you them all. It's 12 different poets, 3 centuries, 2 continents. All this has happened before many times, a cento. Much more wicked and youthful after all those vampire movies. I kissed the tree man, ravished away, pregnant with his wrongs, splendid in my red dress, skin of my body, part treasure, part bomb, echoing aftershocks of joy. This breath between us, constant ablutions of oil of coconut, of musk and tar. This one's called Visit to the Margaret Mitchell House. Do you want to touch it? The wooden head of a lion guards the bedchamber, where hard convalescence brought grievance and boredom together like ovum and sperm, and a rebel child came to life. Unimaginable author trifecta. Pulitzer, movie deal, sales runner-up to the Bible. The apartment is the tour's last exhibit, after childhood journals, where she turned the paper sideways, wrote roughshod over the rule. Newspaper clips, stories heisted from men's beats. Adversarial correspondence with lawyers and publishers' lawyers. She rubbed the lion's head for good luck, according to the cheery cherubic docent. Do you want to touch it? No one stepped forward, so I did. Stuck my hand right in the roaring mouth, stroked the tongue. Are you a writer, honey? The woman asked. The writers always touch it.
One more mic and then we'll have our first feature, and that will be Anna Burke. And by the way, next month we're going to have Dina Serrano and Scott Bird. That will be on the 17th of Anna.
First of all, this is my first one. Sorry to go in. Yeah. It's already made
Alicia, Marie, Beth, Lee, our dead mothers, ironed on our patches. 6 years later, I steer a tiny boat. 7 years, I dig the sand for clams. 10 years, I help make and then put out a campfire. 13 years later, wandering NYC by myself. 16 years later, I'm nervously waiting for the teacher. It is 27 years later now. I still haven't learned to sew. I'm wondering if they have, and if they would teach. I could build an illegal campfire on Hunt Beach and ask them all how the last 27 years have been.
Poetry in
I think some of
Chinatown
them are
got
dead
logo.
ones now.
Yeah, mine is a logo. I see them.
Do you want me to put the screen down?
No,
Just
just
the
the logo.
project.
We kind of a work in progress.
This was here.
To tactfully soften when there is no suspense in what is coming. Dilation and curettage. There is no suspense, but a gusty thank you for being here, as you shifted in shape regarding your competing interests. And regarding competing interests, the authors declared that there are no competing interests. Dilation, curettage, hoarding and praising, elation and ravage.
By the way, everybody who reads gets a pen or marker. Yep. All right. Here it comes to our first of our two features this afternoon. And I'm going to read exactly what was sent as the bio. In the beginning was the Word, and I have been drawn on it.
Not this one.
To map
Poetry in
the eternal
Chinatown?
terrain and make
Which
sense
one?
of the
It's a
eternal
logo.
world,
Let me
to
see.
investigate life and death, traversing a language
I know the
complete
logo.
with spellbound.
Carry on.
Words are my foundation, and making a poem is part resistance, part fury. Emmett Till sits under my
Not
dress
this one.
code. History shatters my heart, and poverty is escaping
Not
rebuke.
this one. The
So I
poetry.
write.
Yeah, it
It's
just
the
say
only way I
poetry
can
in
make
Chinatown.
sense of humanity being inhumane. I received both my BA and my MFA from San Francisco State University in
We
creative
should
writing.
keep it on the desktop.
Own Songs was published by Torian Foreign Press in 1999. Gail Mitchell
Yeah, you see that?
is a poet living in San Francisco. Welcome, Gail Mitchell.
That's it.
Gregory and I were sitting at the Village Specs.
Maybe it shouldn't be this one with the black background. There is a PNG, I think, China.
I saw her, is it 30 years ago? We used to read all the Ruby places on Greenwich Street. But Gregory works in its specs for reading Jack Hirschman and maybe that's the time. And it was my first reading. It's like since COVID, I had not.
I think we need to put the back light. It's a little too strong.
Which one?
So the yellow one.
You want to take down?
And then,
Yeah.
like, 9 days later,
Because it's very hard to
my heart broke.
did those, yeah. The LED
And I
ones.
was talking to Neely, and he was, hey, it's okay.
19
Oh,
He was 87. He was writing every day. We were just
because I we cannot see her because she's dark. So
I have to put more from the side. I can bring the
I
side
think
more.
the red doesn't work on her because she's dark.
I can
So a
put it
lighter,
sides more.
maybe blue, will look better on her because of skin tone.
But it changes with the next
Oh.
person.
And don't worry, because next one will stay is whiter. It's okay.
I brought the sides more. So it's
When I'm reading, because nothing has changed. Very little has changed, his whole witness. He said I had danced in the shoes of my enemy, seen the tree of death, and wept bitter tears. I have seen the rope and understood. When they see you as less than human,
I think the
when they
side,
call you
the four
savage,
canister can
they
go
then
down
can
more.
do anything
Because
Down.
right now
in
it's
the name
so much.
one. Yeah. Because it's shining on the fruit and shining on the I just wanted to focus, the light focus on her. So, turning down to my
getting to see 71, and the eyes don't see the way they used to. Oh, big guy. Beware of my wants have their own system. They secret away catalogs when they think no one's looking. They cruise over to eBay and check on things they are interested in. They have been known to bid on things and argue with the seller about the price. And then sometimes they're silent, like from exhaustion. It's hard to keep up.
turn all the
There are
canisters.
Chinese antiques one day, Navajo jewelry another, teapots from Mexico and
Which one?
Indonesia,
Big ones.
and
The big
Syrian
ones.
captains. They natter on at night when I'm dreaming, talking about indigo cloth from Bamako or old Japanese Netsuke's that are getting harder to find. One loves birds, and the other books. And still another one craves art and smiles knowingly.
It's better.
It's better.
It's better. The orange doesn't
And the bordered cloth from Rajasthan.
but that's okay.
These
That's the
desires
way
are
to
not
Changing.
only the most beautiful will do.
Yeah.
Tooled leather from Mexico, snakeskin belts, vintage dresses, cowboy boots, and old silk velvet. They are fixed in their notions of what will satisfy
I
them.
think generally
Time religion
the
one
one
day,
is
and argue the finer points of scripture and prayer, and whisper to each other about a particular shade of blue that is only seen at twilight. More than once. Sit through old art magazines,
wait till they
underline passages in the big book. They tell frantic stories and somehow never lose the thread of the conversation. One remarks on the tone of a particular Tibetan bell, and the other one is merely gleeful in her shopping. But she did talk about giving up cashmere for life and going barefoot for 40 days, 40 nights. Then on Easter, she could find the most perfect of the shoes. So a lot of my poems had to do with the fact that history was not always told correctly. And my people are from Oklahoma and Park Creek, Muskogee Nation, and then my father's side, they're all from New Orleans, and they do colorism. I didn't know that. Like my grandpa did not want my father to marry my mother. She was too dark. Shit don't stop. History leaves hearts rusty. Memories unravel with broken dances. Add different worlds, subtract distance, swallow down hard, broken teeth, broken hearts, salt tears, twig fingers, point the root home. Cousin tells me not to be funny. I can't
That's my daughter. Be yourself. What's the blues that entangles us in these long, drawn-out conversations, where words are the only currency of exchange? Towers are built, and we find ourselves indebted to the language. Until we find a common thread, then the beauty unfolds, sometimes attached to memories. And we are driven down paths that return us to selves we thought were forever lost. Moments echo like a car backfiring in the night. Somewhere an old lady, praising God, touches her chest. Glad it was not gunshots. Mystery and mercy could be twins, and ought to be at least sisters. They are cut from the same cloth. Their eyes twinkle with knowledge that they are too young to possess. And they both giggle and smell like jasmine and cedar. Sometimes you awaken hungry and filled with longing. You touch everything and want to go to the ocean as if all the answers would be found in sandcastles and salt air. Small talk is strong intuition. Another beginning of something that may be revealed for the first time. Yes, the eyes in 71 with all these different things in the glasses to help you see. Sometimes you know, we say tomorrow like it's a promise. So short of our influence on fate. We have always looked to the heavens and depended on the blue sky. We know that the sun will rise and the moon will set. It is assumed it will greet the stars in the night sky. We forget sometimes the earth shakes and the storms wail and the seas rise up, pushing the levees aside. Now and again, the oceans roil and a tsunami washes everything away. It is a temporary thing, this life, and tomorrow does not always keep its promise. Ferry to Alcatraz. The rocking of the ferry to Alcatraz draws water from the well of history. Some friends in a drum circle, a drummer wearing a ribbon shirt, reminds me of the sky or a winter's chill. Another drummer's voice calls to me across time. My people don't speak of the dust of Oklahoma, but they remind me of gatherings and home and a squeeze of affliction. The earliest memories was like 2. It was so hot in Oklahoma. My grandmother grabbed chicken and an Aaronic snack, and with the axe took off his head, and I was like, oh! But the porch swing on Katie's porch has like stayed with me my whole life. So all I've ever wanted was a porch swing. But let's see. Incorrigible Molly Dagger. I followed people home, always curious, never thinking of mom, who would phone grandma. They would both wring their hands and look to each other to soothe their worst fears. Too many stories of little girls found in ditches. Granny chewed the inside of her mouth. Mom would walk back and forth and pray. Soon they would take to the street, searching the ocean neighborhood, checking the bushes near the park. One day I followed a classmate home. Her older sister delighted us with Mexican chocolate and pastries from local panaderia. Chocolate and glazed little cakes under my mouth. It was
was fall, almost dark. I wandered home before the streetlights came on, bearing gifts of sweets. But my gifts paled against the worried look on my mom's face. Another time I got off the in-streetcar in West Portal after dance class. I'd always seen the sleepy little village, tempted by the toy stores, or maybe it was the lure of the candy store or the ice cream parlor. I wandered the streets with no thoughts of time, proud that my 12-year-old legs could walk the 3 miles by. I followed the bus route and let myself in. Not finding Mommy, I called Grandma. Dark reception followed. Hey, where have you been? Your mom was worried, sick, scared her to death. She came around crying, feeling bad because she let you go on the bus by yourself. What were you thinking? Listening to my grandma. Really got to me for about 5 minutes. I could not resist exploring. And it never occurred to me that somebody might be worried. You know, it's just there's too many cool things to see. A house without mirrors. Terrified of their own reflection. They are continually searching for something to veil them from the truth. Looking over their shoulders, afraid of those conversations that echo in their minds, they are descendants of cross burners. They embrace the lineage of people who would harass blacks sitting at a lunch counter, trying to get served. The descendants of those that taunted a little girl just trying to walk to school. Stretch your imagination. Trayvon Martin was one link in the chain forged by their imagined fears. All of the bridges are burning, so they legislate laws to protect them from their memories. There are apartments in hell waiting, with their names inscribed. My grandmother told me about that. I had given her Mean Streets to read, and she said, I can't remember the lesson six. Did it out? Yeah, I think so. We wrote Mean Streets, and my grandmother said every word in this book is true. And then she told me about Black Street. And I guess I was about 26. And I was like, what? Ravening hunger. This is for Gail Mitchell. Gail is a fabulous poet. Yeah. Ever miss somebody? You're so lonesome for their words. You could feel them brush up against your skin like a raven's wing, and they awaken a story and blow across your mind like a strong wind that pierced your heart. The voice wound its way inside of you, said things in the cadence of the story you had heard so long ago, and you hungered. And still you longed for the teller of a tale when your eyes were dry. You wept blood tears.
What did he?
And your thirst could not be quenched. Perhaps freedom is like this. When you stand up and view yourself and know the difference between what is said about you and what is known, those invisible shackles fall away. You are no longer weighed down by the perception of others, and you stand outside the beliefs they cling to. You are music. A song no one has sung before. You've no need for wings. Now, put your left hand. And I went, yeah, I'm so glad to be here. And everybody kind of freaked, like, you know, Earl? That's right. I'm a cowgirl. The steel was Western Edition memories. Listen, sometimes stories are like a whisper of some old blues song you heard when you were a kid. And you tap your foot as soon as the first notes sound. We are like birds who have the pattern of flight sewn in our minds. No need to remember. It's all laid out like a grid. All we got to do is place yourself inside those memories. Stories have a way of telling themselves, and you hear it in the voice of the teller. When Nana got here in the 40s, she stayed in a rooming house with Papa and House. The woman who owned the place said she didn't rent to Okies because they were nasty. But they could have the room for the night. Nana needed to cook a meal, but the kitchen was so dirty she didn't know where to start. So she cleaned that kitchen, and her and Papa Al had dinner, and then went off to bed. Next morning, the owner of the rooming house asked Nana, "Did you clean that kitchen?" Nana said, "Yes, ma'am." The woman stared at Nana for quite a while. Then, the room is 42 for the month. The Western Edition was something back in those days. Oklahoma, Oakland on Southern Pacific, then the ferry to San Francisco. Everyone was happy just to be out of the South. Those old majestic train streams traveled on those trains. The colored people were beautiful. Gold wrapped around teeth, big smiles, working wherever they could. Papa Al worked at Southern Pacific. Nana got hired at a downtown hotel. The old white man who hired her said, "Keep your mouth shut. We don't hire folks. But you can pass for Filipino if you don't talk." She lasted a day. That Okie wine was just a bit too much for her. She had pride, knew she could not sell herself short, not even for some decent money. Still, she went to work and picked up some odd jobs, and finally found a job at the shipyard. And she sent for her daughter, and Mama finished school at Girls High. Which became Benjamin Franklin, and it's now something else. Bits and pieces create a whole. Benjamina Berto Flores found her in a church in San Blas. She'd been weeping, head bowed low, hands clasped in front, leaning on a crude bone willow. All of her being enraptured, spellbound by the light from the stained glass, as tears ran down her cheeks. He wandered in and lit a candle, went to the altar to pray. Stuffing coins into a jar as he passed by her, he smiled, tipped his head forward. She found him outside the church in the town square, singing and playing his guitar. He told her he was a musician, his trade a tile maker, making hand-painted tiles of the Virgin de Guadalupe. His eyes were like the sea, reflecting light that looked deep into your soul. He asked if they could share dinner, and yes seemed the only possible reply. He sang to her as they walked. It was a song about a bird whose mate had flown off. She tweeted out a sad, mournful song, but finally her mate returned, flying back with food as they fed the fledglings. The two sang together, and everyone stopped to listen to the birds singing. He told her you never give up on love. At his house, he fed her rice and beans with tortillas he made himself. Afterward, they walked to the beach, hand in hand, and she could not stop smiling. He sang Once in a Lifetime all
A distance does not seem so far. Once in a lifetime, you're fed just what is needed, and all parts will find their way. He leaned in and kissed her forehead, and suddenly all was right in the world. Thank you. Broadside the West Edition poem, complete with train and smoke. Ooh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Another hand for Gail Mitchell. Our next few readers will be first Chris Bernard, followed by Jack Melander, and then Chris Saramento. And so Chris Bernard.
I want you to read my book, Social Structure. And let's do the show.
Maybe a little bit lighter in the front. The front. Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
They remind So 17 and a half past 5. At 17 and a half past 5, the clock and the tower of St. Peter's and St. Paul's stopped. At 17 and a half past 5, falling. At 17 and a half past 5, the envelope opened in the lover's hands, and he never knew what her words were. At 17 and a half past 5, the sound of the bells ring did not flee. At 17 and a half past 5, he stepped out of the window, and now hangs suspended in the air. And these are 3 short poems that go on together in a sequence. Burning. The gods of fire, they race through the woods. They catch seeds and little beasts and tiny birds in their yellow hands. They claw back the wood broken from the forest. They eat the town's cruel, bright, heartless, lifting their faces and bellowing the skyline, taking the innocent down with the rest. Smoke in San Francisco during the fires of the fall of 2018. He felt vaguely guilty, irrationally, whenever he took a breath that day, because he was afraid he might be breathing in the ashes of paradise. silence is heavy as the shade of the blackened trees that, in the irony of chance, survive the blackened homes. Sunlight penetrates like cautious fingers. You hold your breath, intent and shy as an embarrassed tourist. The air is sweet with wet ashes. Then a bird call here and there. The sound of hammer. As a man works on a pedestal. A call across the backyard by a middle-aged woman as she tries to get around it. The cough and grumble of a small truck abruptly swallowed as it descends the backward valley. A tentative laugh from a clutch of kids. Still not sure. The woods around them will not sink a second time beneath a lake fire. An old man walks firmly toward me down the middle of the road. He's smiling, waving.
Jack Melliners up next, followed by Chris Sarmiento.
It's a continuation of the keep on getting blues. Girls, the opportunity suggests that this type of hard man, like passionate girls, was needed to his work. Incredibly, though, either place was often possibly did not do since staff of time and pay from your techniques is sometimes vulnerable for a beauty slowly. That's the guy that keep on feeding you want to be today. And does not feel anymore. My black sheep skin was sent by spring rain to say the ceremonies to a glass of torn thick gods. Time changing, school gods, prospects, or civil service monsters, or best for humanities scholars toiling far few, so happy for a day that misses nothing in the world for you. Got the guy to keep on reading, keep on reading, but can't just not do very much. Snapshots of one. These are the new class of SSI anthologies, bachelor's and doctors with whom I work in the field. There's no noble behind the desk at one stands the head of the Western Division. I announced when I went for an instead of name college, we would study creative writing. So what you ask, the only pursuit to get that happen. As the guy keep on feeling, it's not feeling more feeling. Out of desperation, but I did it. I seem to have tools and benefits left. I took some manuscripts to the University on Los Angeles back on that. This one, little GPA, I didn't think too damn, but this letter was not fit for the grad program. I was 2 more years in full-time academia, low-paid, part-time desk work again, and the government cut off the money stream, so I dropped out, shipped out with loneliness, and a 12-month voyage. Then I made it back to the campus. My friends, our girls, my Nicki Minaj once led this monkey scholar, casting over the house, whose poetic letters now made such a sparse collage that I took a logic course and pressed the page like that. When I had somehow thought the whole of the students I had, and they ran with each other, 2 girls side. That guy keep on feeling one evening that can't just not feel anymore. Blues. When you discharge and raps, you trump the MA, and that's another year of classes. Loans when you know that you need that hurts wages to be paid. Since head jobs aren't PC enough now to pursue all claims young men that I would have in keeping his appetites for photo direction. Snapshots of one. These photos are to graduation ceremonies. SF State 75, UCB 84. Your poetry major couldn't attend. You missed it at the technicality. No down with him, no traits across the stage with his tears. have to try to keep on feeling the money because I can't just not feel anymore. Blues.
Next, followed by Han Lee.
Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Sarmiento, and I'll be reading two poems off the back of Saturday Songs. First one, Stored Away. Super wild fields, inviting my soul to run and do handstands and backflips. While just nibbling away in the soul uses the sheep as a stepping stone to run lightly over. Pile of embryos of moms, April 25th this year. Pile of embryos of poems wrapped up in like airplanes, lined up behind airports. Right now, my poems, ideas, take life one by one.
Han Lee is next. Followed by Brian Egdorf.
I have three short ones today. This one is inspired by Joshua Tree National Park. It's called Do the Birds Know It? Do the birds know it? Do the bighorn, the rattlesnakes, and the jackrabbits? Why? The calm in the air, the peace of mind, the silence of the breeze, the shadows, the trees that look like men, the ground made of stone broken over millions of years by heat and cold. The mind finds its groove, the heart its pace, the soul its renewed awareness of itself. Nothing bothers you, nothing jabs or stabs or gnaws, nothing injures you that you don't want in. In return, you give it all your weight, your burden, your hate, and whatever it is you've been dragging behind you. You give it all away and take in nothingness, the lightness, the weightlessness of it all. You let the breeze in, the birds in, the dirt in, and the trees that look like man in, and the rocks in, and the silence in, and the blue in, along with the whites that model it. It all adds up to nothing, but in you, it's everything. This was called Flowers Bloom of Their Own Accord. Green spaces, fields of grass, ponds and rivulets, aging trees and shades they create. We are all drawn to them, a semblance of our origin. Before towers, drywalls, or steel beams, we were outside, hot in the sun, wet in the rain, and cold in the snow. We were part of it, not a separate thing. Dirt under our feet, breeze in the loins, sun-wrinkled skin, all were our ways, and ways of the world. Not hiding from it, nothing to fear. Grass was long, fruits worm-eaten, animals wild, bushes, shaggy, and flowers bloomed of their own accord. Green spaces? There were no such things. All spaces were green. Okay. I found this poem I wrote about 15 years ago yesterday and printed it out. That was pretty good. It's about a trip to Ensenada. We drove down 1D past Rosarito to Ensenada. There in the harbor, we sat on a big parapet looking at the cruise ship that came in from Los Angeles. She sat Indian style, and I lay down with my head on her legs, scoping out the pale blue sky. I spotted a man on a parachute being pulled by a rope. Look at that, I said. She looked up. We followed the rope down to a man pulling a string and carrying a handful of toy men like parachutes. How real those toy men looked before in cloudless stone. I got tired of the brightness and buried my head under her skirt. Noticing her black lace panties, I smiled, anticipating the night. Kissing a leg and resting my eyes, I suppose there were others there. Of course there were, seeing me with my head buried under a woman's skirt. I didn't care, I was happy. For the first time in a long time, I was happy.
By the way, I just mentioned this before. Cell phones. If you have cell phones, make sure that they're on vibrate or just turned off. That's one. Also, anyone else who came in who'd like to read, who has not signed up to do the thing. All right, next up we will have Marin Poetry.
I love that it's bicycles and touch cars. Yeah, I think you can hear me, right? Yeah. Okay, great. So, hello. So I actually wrote. I've been reading John Milton, so I think that I have a contemporary got in my head, and then I wanted to write it, so I actually wrote 2 sonnets, which is just like bizarre. They're blank verse, so there's no rhyming, and then rhyming came out of the end. Weird. So I'll read those 2, and then a third that's not weird. So this one's called This Man I Love. So you're a man. How pass my chance to walk through all your thing? I drag the load to me with you. The knee you try, you slowed down, a shriek, and pulling, split all down the side. All chances slow, all bodies roll, a forward load that springs all here. The firm ones slid to you, to build all wide, all live a builder's life, you try. My hand afloat, moving down, alone I'm there, all alone and black for me. The ending poles, I'll trample wide or wider, find the elbow, and make you broader still or slow. You live in wind or breeze to blow. It's coming to the end of the train, so let's finish it. Which is hard when you're trying to figure out the stupid beats. You're doomed, they say, so step and look surprised. The boring kind, so drench the face you know from then. These spinning and seamed like messes are mean. Suppose the dented and slow enclose within, but that's the face they'll break. A minimum, so crash, destroy, all rolls, but cleanly stops inside the head of his. So slow and dented the look, so bless all me. His trailing loose, but build the signs you can. They'll look like fools, and those are windows too. I'll bend y'all then, the glass all right. Don't look or do, but please, the face is wrong for you. Thanks. This is just you're careless. You're careless, but still take me. Undress, button up first. Correct. Like you, the hand I'll push. Now you're there. Give me $1. I'm going your way. Drag. I'm bent, I'll bend, but legs first. Crash. So you're full. Crack my arm if so, but do so with pride. That's gore, slippery, and looser than the last time, than any other time.
And that's how men roll. Thank you.
Time for our second feature. Dave Holt. Dave Holt moved from Toronto, California, studied at San Francisco State University's creative writing program, the BA in '93 and the MA in '95. Published poetry in several journals, Raven Chronicles, Pedestal Magazine, Sanitary Review. He's English, Irish, Anishinaabe, Ojibwe. His book, Voyages to Ancestral Islands, won a Cultural Literary Award from Artists Embassy International. His work is in several anthologies, most notably Red Indian Road West, Native American Poetry from California, Fire and Rain, Ecopoetry of California, Marin Poetry Center Anthology 2016 and 2019, Descansos, Word from the Wayside, where you see the Pushcart Prize nomination, and River Stars, Poets of Vineyard 2022. Welcome, Dave Holt.
Thank you. So I had fun today bringing Clara my Chinese drum, which I bought at the Alamedas and markets. But what was really great about it is she could read everything on here. She could read what town it was made in, the street address, and some of it's in Chinese literature, and explain these things. So I play Ojibwe drum, right? We don't have a stand for those. Unless it's a paladin drum, then we do. But these are hand drums we play on the house. This is a stand. So I didn't know this until today. It sits on a stand. I can go on this. Yeah, this one. Hello, creator of the light. We have a new morning, cool and cloudy. Sun shines through ragged heels, broken places that light the way. We illume a path through the wilderness, just where to do some real act of peace. Make a friend and heal this world's pain. Keep salvation here in the room. Bring the joy. In a day I saw the gods. One dream when I, a soldier, saw a woman swim with masterful strokes across a strong current that separated me from a white horse waiting in the forest across the canal. And saw she had transcended all boundaries and obstacles as I watched her walk up to the splendid lady and pat it gently, soothingly, calming the beast before she mounted its better road. I desired new strength to cast off the sword, the helmet, the more uniform, than swim, crossing the broad moat to its opposite side. But I remained frozen, still separated from her sacred love, which was not only pure light, but embodied the primal ancient world that she shared with the wild mare upon which she rode, so swiftly disappearing into faraway trees. In this poem, I gratefully acknowledge the California Miwok people, the Chukchan tribe, on whose ancestral homeland I now live. Modern Miwok man. Jackrabbit sprints up the hill, following a track in the grass. He who found Rabbit's trail, modern Miwok man, thought it was a deer path, hunts with a rifle now, follows a jog in his memory, guided by Rabbit, to the stories lodged in the collective unconscious of a village on Cerro Alto de Los Bobones, high hill of the Wolfgang. A tribe his Chukchan ancestors visited before the days marked by European time in 1775, when Captain Juan Villayala sailed in through Boca del Puerto to San Francisco, later called the Golden Gate for Sapana. Even before gold was found and a quest for holy dust began that drove them mad, so that they could care less that a city of harvest gatherers and hunters dwelt in the hills as they had for millennia, preparing food for over 700 Bedouin mortars, grinding the acorn harvest. The first people, unaware new names were given to the sacred places, in a language imported from Spain, improper words assigned by an immigrant enemy who didn't know directions or even comprehend where they stood. In the remote mountain fastness, over 60 homes of the Wolfgang families tilled meadows, planted bulbs of rhodea and lily, tended groves of walnut, pruned riverbank willow, made journeys in summer to the bay shore for sea salt, shellfish, relief from heat, sent their strongest warriors north across dangerous Cargill Strait in tule reed sakas, canoes, to footpaths up to clearing. The Jabanapo band poem, to trade and barter, to seek permission, to mine at sea, for blades, axes, arrowheads. He says, we followed the rhythm of time as we knew it, says modern Miwok man, but time is a thief. The Volvan Miwok city long deserted. Spanish Franciscan friars under soldados took us away. We escaped. Church followed us back. Cursed our religion, reviled our medicine men. We named sacred mountain adapted us to missions where we learned new ways to survive, to play new kinds of music, notes scratched on a page, new rituals from a book they said was holy. We raised cattle for the Spaniard and the Gringo. The smallpox took most of us. Modern Miwok man now follows the call of his work, a steward of the environment, a biologist, using knowledge of his tribe's traditions, ecology, to restore streams, native plants, scientific methods to reverse the pollutions of Earth Mother. Goes on. History says we lived under 6 flags in this state of California, an amusement park joke, many more than that, but no flag raised to honor Miwok people, once a nation, still here to protect the land. Okay, this one's for you boys. Laundry day. Our families hate us poets for hanging out our dirty laundry on the carousel clothesline. And anyway, nobody hardly uses clotheslines anymore. And we bought new dryers at Sears and Kmart. That is, nobody except stuck-in-time poets. And there it is, blown in the breeze for all to see. I empty out the sins revealed in my words, hoping by public confession to be cleansed. I miss that flapping in the wind of fresh-smelling clean white sheets, fresh scent with each breath, filling lungs. I believe we should have showed more kindness, talked more, would have helped. Hard to get them to talk. Got the cold shoulder again. I guess they wanted to make sure the ice was completely frozen solid before they ventured out on the surface. Please forgive me as I forgive you. I used to be full of myself. Now, I'm just a little man trying to do some big things. Safeway as sacred space. I think you guys understand. One day, an inner window is flung open. The curtain lifts. Dead air stirs. Someone's forgiving you. You might be in a secret space meditating. Maybe not. Maybe it happens when you're in the Safeway. Some late night, pushing a forlorn shopping cart through the aisles, looking for the light bulbs. That happened to me one time on my way home from work. Stopped in the store with a grocery list, got wrapped in a prayer from someone who knew where. A friend reached out, lifted my burden, lightened my load, got a rainbow around my shoulder, so I wanted to give back a pot of gold. Like a lunatic, I called out the names of those I felt had mistreated, abused me, left grudges hatched within my heart. Spoke their names out loud, as if they could hear. Wherever you are, I offer you my pardon. Person I passed in the cereal aisle, one over from the household supplies, was steering around me far away as she could. To avoid the guy talking to himself, because maybe what I had was contagious. For my daughter, dance of light. The light of heaven that dances in a child's eyes, that moves them to laughter, to improvise a song overflowing with happiness, sweetly voiced appreciation, life, joy that inspires their loose and limber arms and nimble legs to go long and stretching ardently across the hardwood. Our desire and watch care as guardians of that light is never allow them to stumble or fall as they dance. Times we must let them. Or lend a hand to protect, nurture, apply, so they shine and enter the colorful of God as healthy souls, happy spirits. I want to do three things, my daughter told. Save the world, clean up the ocean, and build birdhouses. I offered him other messages. No, Patty, I can't do 4 things. I couldn't do without it. Okay. Great bird, Descansos. I'm done with the analysis, Dr. Freud. I no longer need to hike back canyons, close dark riverbeds of mine, choked with aboriginal rock, scree, scrub, and tangled pine, where primeval ghosts reach out to tribute. On a sunlit California mountain trail, arms outstretched in love, I'm a child again. The self-same knower, crucified on his cross, same seeker, troubled youth who grew up on a faraway morning in the 50s, carried unsettled questions to school on a damp June sunrise, on a game. What is true? The search. How far to follow? Desires for higher understanding. A child, unchanged, expanding, a prophecy plucked from the air, borne up on swoop of father's sky, declaring eagle love, lighting down to fly me heavenward on wings. Or maybe it was not so clear, transforming me into great bird that dances. I navigate fog-shifting shapes and stratiforms, gray transparencies, play of light that hides, reveals the rocky face of wilderness in upper elevations. Clouds blow in, bank up against the ridge, dispersing. A mountainside emerges under blue. I'll trust not clarity, but clouds. Out of deep trees, the emerging light. Alibis and blame, thaw and melt. A new story from the old is created. Fresh spring, rushing stream. Now the canyon sings. So, my mother denied her Ojibwe heritage for a long time. Well, her mother had too. So, the thing is, we had a lot of family members who were Ojibwes. And all the kids, cousins too, we decided, okay, we're going to go up there and meet these people. And we took one. It was hard for her, but she got it eventually. Felt the pride of her blood. So that's the story. I'm just a suburban kid, raised in a white neighborhood, with a bunch of Ojibwe relatives on the first reserve north of us. Something should be brought together. Ship of the future. We are building a new civilization. If you're in denial, shouting against the wind, flying in the face of the real, shooting the rapids hung on to a worn-out life raft, trying to feel the import of the time that arrives inside a screen that rattles the cage. Rights are artificial. Nature with blood-red claw does not provide, but woven into the fabric of our culture is a dream, a vision that never yet came true, but must not be torn and dismembered now. All colonized peoples have drunk the cup of grief. Let us use our human heritage to build the ark of justice, the ship of the future. Set sail together for a moral universe of brother and sisterhood on the far shore. With us will travel a legion of angels, some kind of divine scribes, virtual video makers, heralds of history, who preserve the thoughts, ideals, aspirations, and memories of all the races from eons of time on down. We don't know how it's done, but we need seraphic historians and messengers because we do the job imperfectly. Hear the cries, and heed what's left to white conquerors and settler colonialists. Open imprisoned minds, unburden hearts to our fellows, share paths to higher spirit mind where the world's prophecies abide, awaiting rediscovery. Turning to see ancient purposes revealed once more. Any time for this one. This is a traditional Ojibwe story. It's my version. Some of you may know it. It's called the Seven Fires Prophecy. It's actually being extended to 8 fires because we want this last fire where the whole world becomes a part of it under the flowering tree that grows again. But the 7 fires was the first version. And I'm only going to go up to 5. And you'll see why. Because in the presence of Ajijak, Sandhill Crane, in the Great Migration. The fathers of Dagwagana, head chief of the Crane clan, recited again the ancient story. They were midway through the people's migration when he told the story that began around 1000 AD, hundreds of years before the Atlantic coast. The Dawn people, the Wabanaki, living in peace and harmony along the shores of the Great Salt Ocean, encountered a colony of Vikings, new from Norway at the time. Some battled with them. First hint of trauma to come. The 7 grandfathers gathered together, anticipating more strangers would arrive from the sea. The elders convened to determine the next course of action. Migrate inland, leave the coast, go west, until you reach the chosen ground where food grows on the water. If you do not move, you will be destroyed. Some of the Dawn people, the Wabanaki, stayed behind to greet the light-skinned race, to observe what face they would wear if they greeted us as brothers, or if they came carrying the wood. The people set out, following the St. Lawrence River, moving out to Wayside, to the Gitchigam and Great Lakes, traveled far to reach the second stopping place that was prophesied, making camp by the sweet water lake. The sacred natus shell guided them some tribes believers said. The shell rose up and hung in a mist above the waters, reflecting the sun. Others said it glowed in the sky and among the constellations, shining even in daytime. The shell known to us now as the remainder of an exploded supernova, the Crab Nebula. But the guidance of the sacred natus shell was lost. After a short time, its beacon light faded. This filled the people with dread. A sense of doom slowed their momentum, their direction dissipated by the disappearance of the shell. 2 others were sent as messengers. In a promising dream, they appeared to a young boy with instructions how to recapture the stepping stones to the future. And so the caravan of people, dogs, and cattle resumed the journey to a third stopping place foretold by the 7 grandfathers. It came to pass that Ajijak Sandhill Crane was seen strutting and feeding, performing his mating dance in an open field by the trail. The Chinatown Great Spirit had commissioned Ajijak for a great task to assist the fulfillment of the prophecy that was delivered
the Wabanaki at their place of origin, in the Dawnland, not so far to the east. All who watched agreed on what they saw next. Ajijak prepared to fly, ran several steps into the wind before becoming airborne and calling out, "Twow, twow, twow," a call to follow, follow, took to the air in a great rush, and so began his mission, aiding the great migration. From a path of flight above, excitement grew in the people's hearts as they crossed the cold water channel to Manitoulin Island, where they stayed a winter. The fourth prophesied to take place. Spring thaw cleared the water with ice, and they resumed travel. It was Crane who first observed from the sky the beautiful features of the rapids flowing between what became Anishinaabe City, Lake Superior, and Mattaway, the Ichigana, and Huron. Awittinon, we call Sit or Awitting now. White spirit bird was descending. He uttered loud and far-sounding cries, heard by humans and spirits alike, even by the spirits of the underworld, slowly circling down above Ichigana, the great freshwater lakes. Crane sent forth his own call, taking pleasure at the sight. Numerous white fish swimming in the clear waters and sparkling foam discovered the fifth stopping place foretold by the grandfathers. On a hill overlooking the Awitting, all the clans gathered at his call. They soon congregated the town, and the ceremonial lodge of the Grand Medicine Society was erected, and for the second time since the people left the Dawn, the sound of the grandfather drum reverberated across the land and water. Since then, Sandhill Crane has been given leadership for all councils. They pray in thanks to Crane for their survival and for all the helper relatives. The ceremony that ends with the words, "Itakiasi," we are all related. I, Dr. Ghana, speak an appeal to the Great Spirit Mystery, the relationship with birds, creatures, all our relations. Between Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, and the land, in our foundation. We honor Earth Mother Spirit. We need each other, and the journey is not over. The seventh fire of the seven grandfathers' prophecy will be lit when we find the place where food grows on the water. The fruit that grows on the water is wild rice. It grows in West Superior wetlands, and the Ojibwe still manufacture the rice to this day. I have a show. The call of a red-tailed hawk enters my meditation. Flutter of wings as it leaves its perch in a nearby oak, flies uphill, calls out several times, then stillness returns. I am moving from a place of weakness and struggle, strength flowing into me. I've learned about the power of moods. I understand the law of my being, integrating ego with spirit and spirit. Learning love, to have no more fear. I leave nothing. I don't try to climb out of the family skin anymore. I find new wiggle room in the old. Hawk has settled down somewhere, quietly perusing his realm from a branch, overlooking blue oak forest in the woods. Silence reigns. Joy arrives. Peace for a time.
Next up, next few readers will be Alan Harris, Yolanda, Don Alpina, and you. Alan Harris is next. Anyone else who would like to read who hasn't signed it?
This is something that I wrote about 3 years ago in the days of the pandemic. Be zen, calm, tranquil, serene. Take it in stride. Don't take it personally. Remember, you're not the only one it's happening to. We're all in this together. Some have it worse, some have it better. But hey, pretty soon, we are all going to be out of toilet paper. And if you're poor, like me, you'll get by. You won't have a problem wiping your bum, drapery or construction paper or aluminum foil or the front page of the Chronicle or whatever you can find. It's the rich people I'm worried about. They're not used to going without their quilted lotion, perfume, and golden boss pork I imported from Germany. Whatever will they do when they have to start improvising like the rest of us? It's already very disconcerting to see my favorite cable news hosts on TV looking increasingly more disheveled with each passing day because they have to do their own hair and makeup. It's a dark time for the human race, and we need to make sure that our rich people aren't being neglected, that they're being taken care of. This going without would be especially hard on them because they're not used to it like the rest of us are. That's one of the advantages of being poor. The only one, really. And the rich, the poor rich, could end up like those people in that film by Manuel, who go to a dinner party only to find that when they try to leave at the end of the evening, they can't. For some reason, they are unable to leave this house where the dinner party was taking place, and they end up being stuck in this house for weeks. Their resources depleting rapidly, their clothes becoming increasingly more soiled, their nerves fraying, their defenses toppling. And hey, aren't you impressed with my reference to Manuel? Doesn't it speak to my intelligence and discerning taste and willingness to challenge myself? No Ghostbusters reboot for this guy. Only art films on my watch list. My bank account may be in a state of bleak and dismal emptiness, but my sensibilities are refined. I can survive on pennies a day. I can make a crust of bread last for 6 months. Just throw me the occasional Manuel or Godard or Kurosawa, and I'll be fine. I'm that rare combination of survivalist and art snob. It's one of my superpowers. My only one, really. And by the way, in case you're wondering, Manuel's first name was Luis. And in honor of Mother's Day, which just happened, I recently learned that my mother hated water. She was at a dinner party one time, and she was asked if she wanted water with her meal, and she replied, "No, I hate water." So my mother hated one of the basic elements of nature. I wonder how she felt about fire and air. Did she hate them too? If she did, that would explain a lot about my childhood, like why none of the food that I was given to eat was ever cooked, and why I was always being given plastic dry cleaning bags to play with. And what about ice and light and darkness? Did she hate them too? Did she hate nature in general? Was she a nature hater? Did she never know the simple pleasure of wandering through a forest awed by towering trees or the majesty of surrounding hills? The soaring beauty of a bird taking
flight or the astonishing agility of deer as they bolt through the thicket. Not to mention the insects and the reptiles and the moss and the algae and the fascinating creepiness of the microorganisms that you couldn't see, but you just knew were there, staring at you, patiently waiting for you to let down your guard so one of them could infect you and turn you into a bigger version of them. Maybe my mother had the right idea. Nature is weird and dangerous. It lures you in by seducing you with its idyllic landscapes and pastoral serenity. And the next thing you know, you're being bitten by a tsetse fly and getting the African sleeping sickness, which causes you to walk off the edge of a cliff and plummet hundreds of feet into a raging river where you could be sent hurtling into surrounding rocks with a skull-crushing force. Or perhaps you land in a placid lake, where, depending on what part of the world you're in, you could be eaten by a saltwater crocodile whose jaws are so strong that their bite delivers 3,700 pounds per square inch, and yes, that's a lot. Or possibly stung by a box jellyfish, the most venomous marine animal in the world, whose sting contains toxins that can simultaneously attack your heart, nervous system, and skin cells. But if somehow you manage to avoid all of that and emerge from what should have been a watery grave, you might be so disoriented from all the sleeping and plummeting and near skull-crushing, croc-biting, and jellyfish stinging that you don't notice right in your path the black mamba snake, whose bite delivers enough venom to kill 10 people. Or the bed of oleanders, whose flowery loveliness belies their evil intentions to poison you and irritate your skin. How anyone survives an encounter with nature is beyond me. And the fact that my mother hated water may very well be yet another example of what a wise woman she was.
This poem is kind of long, but the sentence is very short. I wrote this after I stayed. I went 2 days in the morning to the Institute Farm in Brooklyn. So this is how I realized that I'm sleeping about minutes what's happening. They were addicted. But it's called Woods Tree. A feeling of disbelief, quote unquote, Westerners. So turn up an unhappy state, anti-vibrating tomorrow. That's how my friends said after the edition. Trauma allows word for many residents who some for over 10 years have established community, a sense of belonging, not being looked down upon, but respected, listened to, and which to comments. The collective elders code. Those who have been around to know the kind of dialogue with local, state, federal governments. Until they throw you out and get you from land purchased by city of Oakland. Then, when they learn the need to build coffers of property taxes by real estate developers who have their eyes set on your community, your home. A home that has become a political, social hub for some of those unhoused, built two-story homes, built a multi-room home from RV structures as one dwelling. For some live in their cars, for some work and food was purchased, was cooked by the collective, the Wall Street Commons, for all to eat. Where people give each other lives to the tenants, to wherever residents needed lives to. All those who had a collective community, not just a dwelling, now scattered into tiny homes that are conserved dwellings dead, for some quote unquote lucky enough to qualify for the tiny cabin. Others chose to scatter to a distant street, far away from where they used to go to take care of their personal, their social tasks. Two, the residents the residents and the U-Haul, the bulldozers, the hauling away trucks. Speaking, photographing the display, the legends, full driving collection of community folks, which included Black Panthers, revolutionary nonprofits, including African Americans, Anglo Americans, Black and Jewish. The community torn apart by the countless profit starved city openings who sold the land to make and to build 160 market rate apartments plus 12 below market apartments, which the poor, the ones again my house won't be able to afford. Amidst the bourgeoisie media was skirted all sympathy to the weak succumbed by hammering and the fires at the camp. Turns out the Commons asked the city to investigate, resulting in the arrest of an arsonist who spent a few days in jail. Fire stopped when the city of Oakland government initiated the construction of the tiny home. Was still a crime committed by the city of Oakland? Evidently, evidence points in that direction. And now, evidence to Anishinaabe. Only this time, the focus is already defined. As usual, on the happening and woman putting elders then holding on to dwelling alone alone without hour. For how long is she listening to these men? For a long enough space of coming waiting for herself and her cat and kitten. For property of full pleasure, for life, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But in this I added yesterday, but I guess the whole time, the whole with a mutual belonging are part of the American dream, which is certainly a nightmare for the 90%. I'm fighting because there wasn't a place to go back to live. And they went to the government, they went to communities in Nashville. Joshua Collins is the self-appointed in 2008. And the government response was to get the city of Oakland $4.6 million to relocate them. Like I said, they're scattered all over. So I wanted to write an article. Government shows its true colors, but I'm safety concerned that tenants are city responsible well in some of them. I haven't really got it for yet. My friend that I'm talking about, she got actually further relocated in city sanction place. She worked for a couple of days and she came back. Somebody said that was still on top.
Don, it's you and it's
well, in the pandemic hit, one of the first things that we were looking for until it got canceled was an Alan Harris show at the Monarch Show. Thank you. And it's like, never happened. Skip over all that. This is almost foghorns bloom, we break on it. Morning foghorns loom across the bay, moving fog mist west. Flowers, trumpeting color to a gray sky. What more paradise could there be? Sun is mysteriously gone and tremulously missed as Tony Vaughn's ponytail enjoys innocence. fog is happily back home at March 4th in Cuba. Hope, like every nursery view of a newborn child. The hope folded into every restaurant opening night napkin. The hope in every crease of prom night dress. The hope folded into every sheet of battlefield or veterans hospital, as certain as our future demise, as Earth's outliving us. We fall from the branches that we reach through the stars. We break upon meaning like clams rocked by seabirds on shoreside rocks. We are lucky as hell.
Reviews up next, followed by Simply.
I would like to thank you to my parents and my ancestors. So this one was more introduction. 一位向月黄宇 born in the afternoon of January 12, 1990. Shiny silhouette sand, same as my mother. Y as in yellow, U as in Wilson, E as in English, as in X as in X-ray, I as in interchangeable, A as in Indian, N as in nerd, G as in generous. Xiang is the last name of someone named Xiang, who tried to become an emperor, but failed. Yue is the name of Jane for a legend. The legend is unknown. My father's family came from a line of farmers who worked the land, laboring in the sun, skins tan, bones cracked. We were tanned like a farmer, I was told when I was a child. Well, probably because that's in my blood. Back to my last name. My dad believed that we're the descendants of something, who after his failure decided to jump into a river instead of surrendering and live with shame. My hope was temper just like me. My anger, I was told, is in my blood. Like my father, his temper erupted often when I was young. Angry at his job, angry at the country, angry at the one health policy that ripped him of the opportunity of ever having son. You are your mother's legacy. My dad's home. My mother, fair skinned and petite, youngest of the family. No one expected her to survive as a baby. My parents worked in a shoestring factory. In the chilling, cutting northeastern Chinese air, she was raised by her siblings, beloved by her father. I always wonder what it's like to be beloved. Would it be like skin touched by the warmth of the winter sun, after hiding under layers of clothes? Would it be like not being possible I shared with my grandmother? Lingering sweetness on my tongue. Would it be like the first light of the lid of the strawberry yogurt fresh out of the fridge? I tried to be someone's beloved. I think I was beloved. Late night train to help clean up my room covered in plaster and dust after the contractors removed the windows without me knowing. 40 pieces of chicken nuggets and 2 large fries from my omelets at 2 a.m. The smell of meat, all of this. I want to be a good daughter, beloved by my parents, beloved by my father, who loves through Donggu and Zi, dried Kentucky mushrooms, turning the water brown, drumsticks for you to run far, wings for you to fly long. My mother dressed me in princess cookie dresses and braided my hair. How many braces do you like today? and take you to ballet to play keyboard, to learn calligraphy. I fall asleep again in her laps during the first strides, shuffling in the city. I always forget what the love tastes like, what the love feels like. So I sew buttons one by one, holding on to the misseason I love yous, and sewing the taste and the smell and feeling of being loved into the fabrics, like the shells I collected like treasures, until one day I am united with them and be loved.
All right, the next few will be Tiffany, J.R., Jane, Mary, and then Charles. Does anyone else like to read who hasn't signed up?
Oh, here we go. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Symphony, and this is a poem called Don't Say Goodnight, Mama. Honey, I want to die. I look at my phone in disbelief that you actually spoke those words to me. Mama, you said it so calmly, like ocean waves before a tsunami. Mama, how can you tell me on the phone you don't want to live no more? You say it's because you can't be with my father a minute longer. His abuse no longer got the fuel to cleanse through his toxic words on your skin like medieval poison. His emotional violence has no temperance ever, since he reclaimed the bottle as his bomb to endure the pain of childhood memories he don't want to face. Your words twisted in my brain that night like a hurricane that destroyed Dorothy's childhood home. But unlike Dorothy, I didn't find the yellow brick road to the Wizard of Oz's home. Instead, the following morning I call you and Mama. You lie to me and say everything is okay. Telling me your arm is still strong with no impending expiration date. But Mama, I ain't no fool. I know 30 years of abuse has left cracks that twist and turn like the Nile River on your breastplate. You can't expect me to be calm. Tell me there's nothing wrong. Tell me you won't hurt yourself again. Mama, memories don't recede quickly to the recesses of my mind's deep blue sea. 11 years ago was so crystal clear. That night you took from the kitchen and held in your hands like a cross at the altar of God's temple, praying for relief like the Jews did from Pharaoh Ramses. But Mama, I ain't your Moses. I know you don't ask me to be, but I wish I was. I wish I could part the seas that stand in between your pain and relief. I wish I could climb Mount Sinai and ask God for the commandments to your heart, for which you could live by to live a fulfilled life. Oh, Mama, spare me your lies, because I may be 100 miles away, but I don't need a magnifying glass to zoom in on the cracks in your armor to withstand the impact of unnatural disasters that had no weather forecast to report them. How am I supposed to live with these words you hit me with like stray bullets that I got no protection for? Because I gave my armor to you, leaving that ironclad suit to you before I left for San Francisco, in case my dad took the bottle once more, reclaimed you as the target for which he assaults instead of changing himself. For the worst, Mama, I don't know what to do. I dread the day will come when I get a call that your guardian angels failed me. Told me when you die you'll visit me in your dreams. But please, Mama, don't visit me in my dreams anytime soon. I'm not ready to say goodbye. Please, Mama, take this cloth, it's all I got. Shine your armor so that it endures, so the cracks don't become a puzzle I can't piece together, because I've never been good at puzzles since I was young. Give me time, Mom, to get things together. I'll work hard on my new job, learn the budget, manage my money appropriately, invest in stocks to grow wealth tenfold. I promise you, Mom, I'll give you the life you've always wanted. I'll go against the words of my therapist when she told me it's not my responsibility to be the Jesus of your crucifixion. I know she's right, but I'll ignore her advice. Because how can I turn my back on you when you've held me a million times in your arms like stars, blanketed by night sky when I said I wanted to give up? No, my Mom, I will stay with you. I know things are not okay at home, but please shine your armor and wait for me to build you a bridge to your American dream that you had dreamed 20 years ago. Until then, don't say goodnight, Mama. The dream too sweet.
Anyone like to sign in who hasn't signed in?
And I was worried that no one recognized it. We're in a reconstruction period. We're enduring a San Francisco rebirth. I wanted to join you because I don't want it to end up being a stillbirth. God will take a San Francisco family. God is that man our ease. To you, really lost memories. You should hear me when I go. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waking up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track to take me back there and move my heart used to learn. Why do I decide to roam? Oh, take a San Francisco journey, San Francisco journey home. Got my bags, I got my reservation, all the things I could afford. Like a child with great anticipation, you should hear me when I board. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track to take me back. Never knew my heart is a learning. Why did I decide to roam? Oh, take a San Francisco journey, San Francisco journey home. Thank you. I'm not leaving San Francisco. Got this sweet little woman here waiting for me. Told me that she loved me long as I wanted to. I've been to many places, seen lots of this and that. Having this woman really stuck on me. Not about to get it up. I'm not leaving San Francisco. With this sweet little woman here waiting for me. Told me that she loved me long as I wanted to. That CHinatown woman gonna be furious, no longer having me around. Go tell about my love when somebody will help her out. I'm not leaving San Francisco with this sweet little woman here waiting for me.
Told me that she loved me. Oh, I wanna tell. We're up against the clock, so we'd like to get the last few people in, and hopefully you can keep it brief. And that will be Jane, followed by Terry, followed by Charles.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah. My name is Jane Rex. I'm Pushcart Prize. Shooting stars. The stars are out and they might be without us. The moon might be without us. Us on the earth, yelling and slow. The stars might be without us and both another solar system. They're tireless roaming around us. It might be without us, leave us in a dark stage on a shadowy earth. We have taken them for granted, and they just gone. Traveling back in time. A map of our relationship is up on the wall. You're always to one side and I to the other. Roads and playgrounds and open space, free and windy, overgrown with dry grass, fennel, and remains of houses. I call you from an empty lot when you're both 7 years old, out of doors, discovering old cars abandoned in the woods and wild raspberries. I almost knew at the time it was a wonderful thing to remember. Thank you.
Okay, and next up, well, before we get Terry is up next, followed by Charles, but we'd like to show you Barbara's, Gail's Voyages. Yeah, just so we can see. Terry, are you ready? For the Terry, you can.
I can't really follow the people that spoke tonight. Everyone's been like really amazing, and you know, I brought my cello here. I was out to everyone. What I want to just do is just keep it simple. We have another person after me. Thank you so much. Everyone, thank you. Inga, thank you for inviting me. My wife is right there, and she's my rock. She keeps me so grounded, and I don't really need to really go into anything. I was going to do poetry. I was going to play my cello. I just thought, oh, it's my stage, you know, like, oh, me. No, it's really about y'all. It's about the love that we have here in this room right now. It's about like how we can all be together in this moment, and just be at this moment, and just we'll never forget it. You know. So I just want to say thank you. I'm going to give the stage to the next person.
Charles Curtis Blackwell. Charles, you don't want to read today? Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for getting Thank all of those who did not read, who just came here to listen to poetry and support the artists. Thank you very much.
The broadside we made of one of the poems that Gail read,
letterpress. So I don't know if you know what that is. I used to do that. Actually, the printing is engraved. So that's it. And I don't know if you can remember this. Blues, BLUES 4, not FOD4. Or bluesforjeff.com. If you're interested in purchasing one of these or whatever, just put broadside in the subject. Alright, there it is.
In the interest of time, I'm going to pass on readings this afternoon, but I will, read two next time. But just wanted to mention a couple of things. Next Saturday at the Black and Brown Social Club on 474 Valencia at 16th Street is an open mic, and it's sponsored by the League of Revolutionaries for New America. So, Poetry for Revolution. So, and that's, I'm sorry, that's 6 to 8 p.m. 6 to 8 p.m. This is the 27th. This will be happening. It's going to be on the 27th. Next Saturday. And then next month, June 17th, we will have Nina Serrano and Scott Bird as features here. So please come back. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank the artists. Thank the teachers. Gail Mitchell. Dave Holt. Thank you all. Thank Clara. Oh, Dave has books to sell. Dave has books to sell. They're broadside. We've got to kind of get out of here really smooth. So thank you so much. Yeah. This will be over, but we'll have a film coming up afterwards. So stay around if you'd like to. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for supporting Third Saturday Poetry in Chinatown. My name is Gail Mitchell. Okay, good. I'm still working on this is all, but it's okay. Busy a little more than that's why I said I'm not going I can leave it. I mean, it's important.
Thank you, Greg.
So I'm not going wood.
This is your drive, right? Different. That one. I can download it. Yes, because might not play right away. Oh. Yeah, I'll check it out.
I don't know why it's like that. Maybe it takes a while for it to.
Did you stop it?
Oh, I